and welcome to a new video by NBK-Design. I'm gonna show you in this video how to use brushes and how to load them, how to use them, and a little bit of overview that you are not totally lost by my Painters-Toolbox products. Okay, first of all, there are brushes in the whole scrap world. Brushes can be used in so many different ways. I have them in my collections for totally different products, like word art. You can maybe blending tools. You can paint with them. You can stamp with them. I have brushes when I offer masks. I always have a ABR, a brush file with it. So if you are a brush lover, you can use the mask ABR file, or you can drag and drop for the PNG file. Okay. Brushes are so versatile. It's such a big thing. What I offer here for you as a customer is maybe only a scratch on the surface what a Photoshop can do with brushes. First of all, they are I'm working with a Photoshop CC 2018. I try always and create my brushes, brush blenders, whatever, dynamic brushes in Photoshop 2018. I try that they work in Photoshop Elements as well. It can happen if you have an especially older version than Photoshop Elements 13. If that's older, it always can happen that some brushes doesn't work for you. I try to test them before I release them, but it always can happen. If you have a problem, please contact me via my contact form on my NBK-Design.com page, or my Facebook, or the shop owner, so that I can help you. Mostly we can figure out that it works for you, but you need to always be sure that tools are created in the newest version of Photoshop by myself, because only that is what can give me the opportunity to make new things and create them for newer versions. So I try to take care of older versions, but yes, it can happen that some things not work for you. If you get frustrated, always contact me. We refund the money if you have bad experience. It's not so that I want to get you angry by a product. It's only because I try to create my products for the future and use the newest versions. And I can't support all older versions of Photoshop or Photoshop Elements because they are not up to date anymore. And I know it's hard to buy for some people the newest version, because it's a money, and it's not a cheap thing to buy you a Photoshop or a Photoshop Elements. It's each month. If you only have the Photoshop, each month is $12 as far I know. Okay, this is some side infos. The next thing, if you load any ABR files or any other files into your Photoshop, and you quit your Photoshop, or it stops working and you quit it, or you turn off your computer without quitting your Photoshop proper, Photoshop will lose the loaded files like ABR files or styles or colors. It can be that when you restart your Photoshop, that the loaded files are disappeared. That's not bad, but it can happen. Only this is something, a little bit of info for you. So you try always quit your Photoshop over here, and that's the best way to keep all your brushes in Photoshop. If the loaded ABR files are together, so if you load 20, 30 different ABR sets, it can happen that they are bigger than 2 gigabytes. This is something you don't see. You can only see it when quitting Photoshop, that it takes very long until it's quit. Okay? When it takes time to quit your Photoshop, it means that it saves something in the meantime. Okay? These are brushes, styles, swatches, presets, whatever. This is what in that moment is saved, and when you restart your Photoshop, that it shows up again. Okay? So it can happen if you have loaded too much and you reopen your Photoshop, or you have quit it over here on a Mac, quit here. It says here beenden, that's German. If it says here quit, and you do that, you can be sure, if you restart your Photoshop, that maybe the ABR, the style file, whatever, is disappeared. So you have to go to your Finder and reload it again. Never throw any of the ABR files, TPL files, style files away. You need them again and again. Don't throw them away. Okay. This is a little bit of info for you. Let's go over and we're gonna load here some ABR files. Okay, just an info. Older products created by me can contain TPL files and an ABR files. Adobe Photoshop doesn't support anymore the TPL file. TPL was a file for Photoshop. It included much more info for your brushes. The dynamic, or you could add a color, or that it tilt. Did it also include? And this was in the early versions of Photoshop until Photoshop 2017. From Photoshop CC 2017 to the newer versions that will come up in the future, it was only for TPL files. Okay, you had the ABR files and then you had the TPL files. That's hard to explain. Sorry. Okay, now from Photoshop CC 2017 on, the ABR files contained everything. So you don't need the TPL files anymore. If you have one of the Photoshop version from 2017 on, and you're gonna load this, we do that now with this Impressionist TPL file. Double click on it. It loads automatically into your brush sets and not anymore in the TPL or in the tool preset, how it's called. I think Adobe will in the future one time totally do this tool preset out of their versions. So this will disappear. That's my opinion. If that happen, I don't know. So you have here the tool presets loaded, and you also can now load them into the brushes. And loading brushes can be done in different ways. You can go to Preset Manager and be sure that your preset type is here with brushes. Then you go on Load, navigate to your folder over here, and we go to the brushes, and you can see here the TPL files, which are also brushes, are grayed out. Okay, we can only load the ABR files. Okay, to use them, those TPL files, you can go to, again, Preset Manager. No, hold on. Yes. And then go to Tools. And then can you go to Load. Go to Brushes. And you can see now that the ABR files are grayed out. And you can choose here those TPL files. Okay. Okay. Now they are loaded here. So from 2017 on, I don't offer any more TPL files for you, because from 2017 on, the version of Photoshop, the brush engine in Photoshop supports as well, or integrated that what the tool preset offered. So they combined tool presets with brushes. So this is important. You can load them, you can work with them, but I don't support, or I don't create any more tool presets and an ABR file. So TPL and TPL file are only or created in Photoshop 2016 and lower. Okay, this is a lot of info just, and I hope it helps you a little bit. So these are now those impressionist oil paint brushes. They are created for you to paint. Intuitive painting. It's I paint when I like to calm myself, when I try out, when I have nothing what I like to when I don't have an idea. It's just a little bit of a painting, dabbing around, and it's art therapy. And my Siri talks again with me. Okay, these are those impressionist. For example. And then we have here some blenders. Here are the maps. So they are now loaded into the tool presets over here. Okay, let's load some ABR files. Double click on all, and now they are loaded from the Photoshop CC 2017 on. they made something really, really amazing. That means when you load brushes, that they open in kind of folders in the preset. Going here, edit, preset, and preset manager. And we are now in the preset type and brushes. And you can see here, they are all folders. And in the tools, they look like this way, which is really not that good. And this is much better for the overview, that you know what you have already loaded. And when you open them here, you can see what's included in each and every one of those folders. This is double. Just saw that. Okay. Let's see what we can do with brushes. Okay, just showed you here a little bit randomly something. I always start with a gray canvas, because then I can be sure that brushes with a color attached, and if it's white and you paint on the color of the brush is white and you have already a white background, you think that it doesn't work. So it's always good to have a little bit of a tone in the background. That's why I start always with a bit of a grayish background, and I can see everything I paint. Okay. Using brushes means that we need also colors and maybe styles. And for that, I have always in my collections styles, I have always 3 color styles. They can you can get them in the shop for free, and they look like that one. Maybe I have here let's see if Painters-Toolbox is there already created a style. Here we have them. Okay. And then we have here the goodbye challenge. A little bit of a Painter's Toolbox. And I don't have here, nope. Then we have here Indian Summer. This is the new collection I'm just working on. And we go here and we have here a swatch. You see? Color swatch. Double click on it. Now it loads into my Photoshop with the double click the colors I use in this collection. Okay. So we have a new canvas. We have loaded some brushes. You can load whatever you want. Let's see what happens. The masks. The mask brushes are for you if you don't like to use the PNG file and mask. You also have the opportunity to use the mask to paint with them, dab on your canvas, use them in multiple ways. Or if you have 2 masks and you think you want to change the mask and combine them, just click on it, and so you have the mask here, 2 masks in one, or use another one. So you have combined and can use this mask, new created mask by yourself. Okay, mask. Then we have also word arts contain also always brushes. Let's see what happened. Okay, what happened now is, or what you can do, you have the brush and you go to the eraser So you now erased with the brush of the word art from the just created mask something. That's the word. Okay? This is how you can create a new mask. I always think I create products, they are finished, so you can play with them immediately, but I also create my products in a way that you can play with them, start to combine them, start to learn how to use tools in Photoshop. For that we have tutorials on my YouTube channel. Come and join my Arthology group in at Facebook. I try to teach my customers with my products. They are so versatile. I know my collections are that huge, but they are huge because you can create so many different things with it. You will find so many new ways how to use my products. Okay, what I wanted to do now. Okay, I wanted to add here a picture. And let's see. Have I here already? Nope. Go back to Stranger Woman. That was an older collection. Here is the photos. And let's add here this. Okay. So we created in the back this mask now. Make it a little bit smaller. Turn on again the flower. And we make it a little bit bigger. And now we go and clip it. You can hold here, create clipping mask. That's one way. And you see now this flower is attached to the clip, to the mask we just created with the brushes. Okay. What we also can do is we can attach here styles. Maybe you're gonna ask yourself, why are there so many styles she creates? This is what happened when you add styles. These styles are now in a free kit you get when you join the challenge Hello TLP. And let's go back to the Schreibtisch. You see it's all in German. I hope you don't feel irritated by it. Okay, here we go. Here are some ASL styles, or files, better said. These are styles, and if you, I'm gonna load them now all by double clicking, and they show up now in my styles palette. It loads because they are sometimes a little bit huge, and we're gonna change the tool here. Okay, now you can see I loaded here different styles that to show you how we can attach them to a brush. Okay, this is how it looks like, and you can see what you can do. You can play. Maybe you like to add here in the background a paper or another photo. Let's try a photo. We place that photo in the background. Okay, and then we do some artwork on top of it. And this is now if fill is on 0% and you turn off the effect, there will show up nothing. What you can do is, when it happens that you click on one of those empty layers, these are the square with the strike through, that helps you to reset your whole layer to 0. and if you have changed your layer with styles. Okay, you can see this is what you can do. It's only a brush, a different brush, and this is what you can achieve. So let's start a new layer, and then we go to maybe, yes, here the word arts, and use the word arts how they are. And let's click on that. It shows up in black because we have in the foreground the color in black, and we use here also different styles and see what can we achieve. This is one with a shadow. Okay, we start a new layer again and close that one. We had now those masks I showed you. Then we have here maybe those brush mixes. Let's see what we can use here. You can see here we have here some little bit of a grunchiness. They are not huge, but let's choose here colors from the loaded swatches. It only dab here, and then we choose maybe that one that can add it here. And you see we slowly get a little bit of a grunchiness into your onto the page and on top of the image. It's not much. What you also can do is click on the layer now, layer 1, which is our mask we have created by ourselves. Right mouse, and we go and you need to click with the mouse directly on the icon, and then you can select pixels. Now it selects the whole mask. Okay, now you have a selection, and when you now start a new layer by clicking on the menu on the bottom, so we have now layer 4, and when you have now a brush selected like that one and you stamp on it, you have the selection, and it stamps now only into that selected area. Okay, and this is how it looks like now. Okay, this is what happened when you have it not selected. Look, it stamps outside, and if you have selected it, hold on, you go select pixels, go on layer 4 here, and maybe we're going to use now that brush, and we change now the color. It's here this purple. We go, here's this one and that one, and you see more and more and more grunchiness happens. Also, you can change here the layer setting into multiply or color dodge, so it changes also, but that's some side infos here. Okay, next one. This is a brush mix. Yes, contains different kind of yes, colors, brushes that can be used totally different. Okay, next one. We're gonna close this brush with watercolor blenders. Art therapy number 1 is this. Okay, these are dynamic brushes, and dynamic brushes can be used properly in Photoshop. Photoshop elements, they work but not properly, and mostly they don't show up exactly how they look in Photoshop. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have here always, you can see watercolor blender mask, watercolor blender color. They look same or the same. And let's see what we can do. Let's turn off all layers now, only that you feel not distracted. This is a watercolor blender, okay? This is, you can create now a mask. Choose a new layer and this is not much different. Now change the color here. We click on it on a color from the color palette, or you can pick it out from an image. Now the foreground is this orange. Now click on the background and this color picker window pop up and choose here this mint. Okay, and you can see here we have here a little bit of orange, and if you press now X, you can see that the orange and the green change the from fore to background, and also the color itself blends. Okay, what you can now do is, we have here this blending mask created, we have here a photo, and now we clip it on the firstly created mask, and you see, I'm gonna change now the background into a coordinating color by the image. So you can see what happened. The image is now clipped on this watercolor mask we have created. The color doesn't matter because you overlay it with the image. Okay, so this is what happened. So now we have painted on top this watercolor scenery around it with the swatches we have loaded, and they don't coordinate pretty well with the image. Okay, what we now can do is start a new layer, and now we pick here from the image the color by clicking Alt. We click Alt and pick the color here, this purple, and you can see we have in the background still this orange from the swatches loaded. And to change it, press X. Okay, X on your keyboard, and the orange gets in the foreground. Now again, take the color picker with the Alt key and pick this. It's also orange, it's more apricot, I would say. It's pinkisher, this color, but it coordinates a bit better with the image. So now we have the and now you press X again. Okay, you have the purple again in the foreground, and you have this pinkish in the background. Okay, now when we paint, you see that those both colors are combining. Some brushes are more purple, the other is a little bit more. So we have like a fluid color change in this color brush. That is something that is not attached in the mask brush. Mask is only plain color to create a mask, And the color is always that one that you can use on top. We have here a little bit of more brighter colors. Just click on, and what you can do is always by holding the Alt key, click, pick a new color. Click here, pick a new color, and you see how you change the photo, and it looks more and more like watercolor. Also, you can change the size of the brush set. So, and you see there is a lot of pinkish. Maybe we should change again the background color, that it's not that pinkish when we have here a darker. Okay, press X, pick on the blue of the church on the hill. This is I think, how is it called, St. Michael in it's in France, and it's just in the ocean, in the sea, an island, and on top of this is this church. Okay, you see I have now in the foreground the blue, the dark night blue, and then in the background is purple. Let's see what happened. Look at that color now. It much more coordinates now with the color. You see here we have so much blending. We have here texture, and it almost looks like cracked here when you resize it. And this is what happens, and this is what I so love, to create these tools that you can not only do scrapbook pages, you can paint, you can do kind of art therapy. It's really my products, you can, how I already said, they are created to start right when you buy it, that you can do your layout pages, but you can also play a lot, take time really when you order a collection, a whole collection, when you have all in one, that you play with it, that you sit down and say, oh, I take myself 1 hour, maybe watch a video, and then I'm going to try something new, play around, use a photo I love, use a photo I like to change a little bit. I like to overwork to make a painting out of it. So many ways to use my products, and always check out my YouTube channel for new inspiration. And you can see here what happens with that one. Look at that. Look at that texture. You have here now a canvas texture. I just changed here watercolor blender's color here, 10 in this set. Okay. And maybe that is now a little bit too dark. Yeah. We're gonna change the colors again. Maybe we go here a little bit more purple. Let's see what happened. Oh, this darker part of those two colors are very on top. Okay, let's press X again on the keyboard, that the background color comes in the foreground, and let's paint further. Let's see, much better, but not that happy how I want to. Let's pick another pink. So let's take a blue. I want a blue, maybe a brighter blue. So it's experimental, and let's see what happens here. Okay. Let's pick this yellow, press X, and so starting here, canvas. It really looks like now you have attached here a canvas a little bit over here, the corner. Not every brush works maybe how you want. Don't get frustrated. This is what I say, you need to play with brushes. This is more colorful. Now those colors change a lot. Okay. Also here. Let's see what happens when we use another one. Okay. It's not done in 5 minutes if you like to play with those blenders, because yes, they are so experimental, but they can give you a lot of opportunity and a lot of different opportunities to play in your Photoshop. Okay, it looks like a little bit of a watercolor painting with not much effort, I would say. Okay. This is now a demonstration of watercolor blenders, also brushes. We have here the word arts. I showed you them. Maybe we like to attach here now a word art. I started a new layer again, and let's print here and change here to multiply, so I can be sure that I can read it. That's why I attach always brush files to the word arts. And then we have here blending masks. Also a set, art therapy number 2 is this. And I also attach always on top of my brushes hard around, so you can, and a softer, and this is my NBK brush you never need to use, but you can, you see that's then a pack you have ordered from me, and it doesn't mix up. Then we have here art therapy number 2, all the leaves. They are also dynamic. If you like to create, for example, now fall is coming, some leaves on top. Look at that. How it changed immediately your canvas or your painting. And this is what I'm gonna show you as well. You can change so many things when you use brushes. You can change here on top the blending mode. I'm sorry. Color burn. This is something, it changes the look. It changes how it looks when you directly paint on top of something else. Let's go to we go now to the turn off the leaves now, and I go directly on the painted, and now I'm gonna show you how color burn works on top of it. I have purple as a color, and here is color burn chosen. If I go to linear dodge, you can see that it brightens the background. Also something you need to, this is a little bit of a pro settings, and I like to only show you a bit what brushes all can do. Then you can change the opacity here. That means that they don't show up much here when you work with them. Also, it depends on what you have chosen here. If you go to multiply, they show up more. And if you change the flow, it also, flow is it doesn't show up here because it's very down. Here it floats more. Okay, smoothing is new in Photoshop 2018 and not available in Photoshop Elements till now. It can always happen they add things to Photoshop Elements as well. Okay, smoothing is something that changes the way your brush runs. I recommend always, when you use my brushes, a Wacom board. This is how I create them, to use them with a Wacom board. You also can use a mouse. I have now the mouse in my hand, okay, and I think you can't work that good with a mouse and paint with the mouse than you can draw with the Wacom board. But this is something you need to know for yourself, and how much you like to buy, and it's also money thing, and I can really expect. So you see, those brushes work also with the mouse, but they don't work as good as, or isn't that handy how it's with the Wacom board. And you have always this disturbing sound of the mouse. Okay, yes, these are the dynamic brushes, for example, what you can do with them. Let's start a new layer and go, and we close that dynamic brushes. Stamped lace, these are brush sets. Let's make them white only. We're gonna change here back to the normal, and we have here changed the opacity, go also on top on 100% again, and the flow also on 100%, and then we have the smoothing here also on 0%, and I'm gonna show you now what smoothing will do. Okay, don't worry, this is what happens when you add. Okay, it floats more, and especially if you have something dynamic. Let's see what happens here. Smoothing, he's here on 100%. Yes. Just hold on a second. I'm not prepared for everything in this video. Maybe we should. Okay, smoothing. Okay, here you see the line is smoother when it's up to 100%. Oh Siri, shut up. Excuse me. It's good when you want to draw something, because you don't get such harsh edges. Okay, this is without. You see, you get here and here and here such harsh edges. Okay, and with smoothing turned on, waves or curves are naturally smoothed. That's also if you like to draw or write something. You need to be slow. Okay, and smoothing down. You see what happens. This is I think here you can see the best what happens when smoothing is turned on, turned off. So another thing what brushes does or not do, whatever you. Okay, you could see here some confettis. These are also dynamic, and if you have confettis and you can add here also different styles, then especially glitter styles. I didn't have them loaded. Let's see if I can find here fast and easy glitter. Append. Okay, here are some glitter styles. This is what happens when you have some sparkle styles, and they are sometimes I offer them for free, or they are attached on the glitter if you buy a glitter style. Then we have another stamps here. This is also something you can also change here, of course. The look of those stamps with the styles, and if you use different styles, always, well, I try always to start for each and every stamp I use a new layer, and I wildly stamp around and then a new layer. Don't think too much, just start to use them and paint here, and then again a new layer, and start to have a little bit of a focus point over here, and then you can attach here the styles differently. So that one, and this is a way you can build up some artsy layouts, paintings, whatever you like to call it by yourself. Then, for example, I also attach always for the loopy-la-loosas. These are loops. You can paint them then in white or in black on your canvas. Also makes your pages very artsy if you use them. Then we have again a brush mix over here. Maybe add here some scenery and do here some splashes. Also here you can see the variety of my brushes. I always try to reinvent myself with each collection, that you get really a total different new set. And I think it's important that you understand that you can mix and match everything together. You can change the color, you can change the collection, you can combine each collection with each other. The products can be used hundreds of times, and everything is versatile. Already said that. Come and join my apology group. You get there the latest info. Sometimes I give out a freebie, or you will be the first when I announce something. You will be the first to with the news. My CT girls post there every day some inspirational. We show you some challenges. One of my CT girls, Astrid, shows you also some videos with different techniques, with how to build up a layout. Yes, this is the Artology group then. And in this video, I showed you now how to use brushes, how to load them, how to how to use them, and there are so many different ways. I think this video could go on any further. It is now almost an hour, this video, And I showed you now not much what brushes can do, but I gave you a little bit of an overview that you can start to learn my products. I think this is what you should do. You should not be disappointed when you buy a product and you not know what you got, what you can make with it, what you can achieve. Sure, is it something, if you are a beginner, that you need to learn, that you need to be open for new ones. And what helped me always as in the whole life as a graphic designer, at my work, I'm working in an advertising agency. My focal point is always that there is always something that makes it happen, that a no isn't what's the right one. Oh man. You always, there is always a way out of something. There is always a way we can achieve something. There are many different ways to achieve a look. There are many different ways to use products, and be open to yourself, and try to be open to learn something new. I think these are steps, or these are things what you need when you use one of my products. I'm always open to help each and every one. Send me emails, send me a message. I try to help you, and also my CT girls. Okay, I need to finish this video for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Everything is linked in the description box and the bottom of this video. See you later. See you in another video, or better, hear you. And I'm having a good time to teach you some things. Bye.